Yo, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we have the Threezero Avengers Iron Man Mark 7. I do own another Threezero figure. This is my second. The first one I bought was the Iron Patriot, which I'll show off in size comparison. I'll show them off in a bit, but here's the box. I actually really do like this open window thing. It's something that I feel like companies need to do more of. Mayfix does it pretty well, but I always like boxes that, just open up, get a clear view of the figure and some promotional stuff. But yeah, I bought him for about 70 on eBay. I think this figure is pretty new. He came out on Big Bad Toy Store, which I know isn't always the most accurate. He came out February and he was 100 there, so I got this figure for 30 bucks cheaper. He is owned though, so there's that. So inside the box you get obviously the figure itself, you get some warranty stuff. Just then this is not a toy, this is a collector's item. You get this in case the figure breaks, which I think is pretty cool. Obviously you get the instruction book. I do recommend reading this because honestly this figure is like a mini Hot Toys. So you do want to make sure you're careful with it because most of it is die cast. You want to make sure you're not going to break anything or mess anything up. You also get this cool display kind of thing where it's the hull of armor. It is pretty cool. I probably won't use it in my display, but I do think it's nice that they include that. And then here's the figure. Let's get him out of the clam tray plastic real quick. So here's the figure itself. You can see he looks absolutely amazing. The red shine and just the general shine on the entire figure just looks great. He is mostly die cast. Some of the pieces on top are plastic, but the joints are full metal. He does have some sort of exoskeleton, I guess, or endoskeleton, whatever you want to call it. The internals of this figure are metal. He does have some heft to him, and it does make him feel like a really premium figure. So I guess I'll go over articulation while I have him out here. And it actually isn't that bad for what you'd expect. He looks like he wouldn't move, but he does actually move. So the head is on a double joint. It looks up pretty far. This is the one gripe. I wish he looked up farther. So, flight poses, it looks a little, not really there, but it's better than nothing. He looks down, he looks side to side a little bit. You really have to push that joint. He does have some tilt. Now, the way these shoulders work is that this pad can move down, so you can move the shoulders all the way up. So you get that. And then they also shift forward on a butterfly. They don't really shift down, but they do shift outwards, so you can really get that full range of movement. He has a bicep swivel. He has double jointed knees or elbows that bend in pretty far. There's just a huge ball peg that just allows this to move. It's not a hinge or anything. It's just, there's just a ball peg there. So that's pretty cool. Now his torso, the way Threezero builds their Iron Man figures is actually unique. You can kind of pull it up a bit. Hold on. Now here's the thing. If you pull it up too far, you are going to take it apart, which is what you need to turn on the lights. I'll show the lights in a minute. But yeah, so that's just kind of there. Let me push it in. You want to make sure you push it all the way. But he does bend forward. See? And he bends back a little bit, but not too much. And then one last thing I forgot to mention up here. These flaps can move forward to allow the arms to move more inward. So you're not really damaging. So you're not damaging that piece, which I think that's pretty cool. The amount of engineering that goes into these figures is amazing. The legs are another marvel of just, I don't know how they thought of this, but look, so this comes down and then this can extend so that you can get the legs kicking pretty high. That's honestly amazing. Then you can push those up so they move outward. Let me push these back in. Yeah, they are kind of stiff, so just be careful. I do think these pieces right here are supposed to move. I think these are supposed to move to kind of allow the leg to kick up, but at least on my copy they're not moving. Anyway, you get thigh swivel, you just saw them move outward. You get double jointed knees that actually bend pretty deep. I don't know why I was struggling there. The ankles are another way of they look like they wouldn't move, but they actually can move up pretty far. They move down and they do turn side to side, and there is some pivot. Now the only thing is that these side panels don't move, so you don't get that much pivot, but you still get a decent amount. And then yeah, so this all lends itself to end up being a pretty good articulated Iron Man. The only complaints I would have are maybe a few of the joints being able to move a little more. Yeah, so he can stand pretty well and looks pretty cool. Let me show off those lights while I have him here. So he has two lights. He has his head and his torso. Now, the way you do the head is you basically just pop off the top like so. Pop off the top like that. And you will see there's a little black switch right there. Now you do get a little tool, but you can just use your fingernail. Just carefully kind of move it over to the side and then press it. And that's that light right there. And the one in the middle, you will need to use his the little tool he came with. So just using this. So right there, you just kind of pull that up a bit. I think on mine it's just not screwed in properly, where you pull that up and there's a black button in there that you're supposed to press. Let me get a light real quick. So I have a light here. So you can see in there, that black button is what you're supposed to press. So you just come in here with that little tool. Hold up. So you come into that little tool, pull that up, and you just press it like so. And then there you get the lit up Iron Man. Oh, hold on. That. You get a pretty cool lit up Iron Man. Let's turn off that light. Oh, his shoulder pad's all messed up. And there you have this lit up Iron Man. Now, he does use button cell batteries, and from what I know, they're banned in Australia. So if you're watching this from Australia, unfortunately, you won't be able to get these lights. But still, this looks pretty cool. There is a gap in the torso that does like show itself off when you have the lights on. So you just want to like make sure that's covered up properly, like so. And yeah, that looks pretty sick. So like I said, this really is a mini Hot Toys. One thing I did forget to mention is these flaps on the back do move. They move pretty much all the way out any way you need them to. And there's nice detail underneath to look like Iron Man flaps. I don't really know what you call that, just like the metal grating look. That's pretty cool. So let me turn off these lights and then we can start looking at the accessories. As you can see, he comes with a lot. He has like 4 different versions of the same open hand, but that's still pretty cool. So going over the hands real quick, a lot of them are just variations of this. Hold on, my focus is messed up. A lot of them are just variations of this, which is just the open palm hand. Some have the port open. This is the only one with the port open, while others have just this like white look in case you don't want to have the effect in. And then like I mentioned, with the port open, you can just put in these effects right here. You get 2 long ones, so that's the long look. And you have 2 of these little stubby ones, which I think are meant for the hands. You can mix and match, doesn't really matter, but I think that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna move stuff that I've already gone over out of the way. And then he has these hands, which are like relaxed hands, I guess, which are just kind of open hands, but this piece is down, so you can't move it up. Now, if you'll notice, these hands are different because this is like the angled piece. This doesn't have that angled. So just be mindful of that. And then he has these hands, which are pretty much these are the open port hands. And he has these hands that are like the same. Wait, what? He has 2 of the port hands? Oh yeah, okay, so I figured it out. He has 2 hands that are like identical. I think the only difference is the hand in my left right here has the fingers a little more curved, which is, I mean, I'm one for more accessories, but if it's just 2 of the same hand, then I feel like, oh, you know, what's the point? Anyway, he has this bonus hand, which is meant to be the laser hand. And alongside that, you get this little bracelet piece, which attaches to the arm like so. I'll show that off on the figure. And to go with those lasers, you also get these actual laser effects. Just plug them in on the tiny little hole right there. Be careful because this is a softer plastic. You get that pretty convincing laser effect. It does look pretty cool. It is a darker piece of plastic, so the light won't pass through as well as it probably should, but it is what it is. As you can see, he comes with a bunch of like armor up effects. So he has these missiles. Which attach to the forearm. Just replace the like piece with this one. Then he has these thigh plates, which replace the, thigh plates. It's in the name. And then he has these, which are the shoulder missiles. So this is the front part, and then this is the back part. So let me show how all these accessories look on the figure real quick. So to attach the missiles, you basically just come onto this piece right here. You take that off, and then you attach the missile right there. So there's that. For the laser, it's a little more extensive. What you do is you take off this arm, or this hand, and then there will be a little like, that piece right there, what you do is you just line it up with this, make sure that's in focus, push it in all the way because you need space for the laser. Come over here with the laser hand, press it on. Some of these joints are pretty tight, and then there's that. But we're not done yet because you still need to attach to the actual laser. Oh, they're really small. I'm having a hard time grabbing it. Right there, just like so. And there is the laser effect. Looks pretty cool. Like I said, light passes through nicely. Do be careful when you're taking it off because you don't want to break that like laser piece off. I recommend just doing a straight pull. Wiggle back and forth, but don't twist it. Now, attaching these shoulder missiles is a little annoying because it's just, you need to dig in there, and if you don't have fingernails, well, you're gonna be out of luck, and even this piece right here doesn't really help with it. So just be patient. What I recommend doing is kind of making him look forward and then coming in from the back right here. And just carefully getting a hold of it. There's one off. Turns in right here. Doing that, and then get the appropriate piece. This one is for the right. Put that on. Get the other one. We also need this. Hold on. Put that piece on right there. That's one part of the look. Now you need to take off these little silver pieces, so just come in with a nail, carefully remove that, put in the appropriate one. This is the wrong side. Put in the appropriate one. There we go. So that's the shoulder pad armored look. Now to complete it, obviously we need to take out these thigh missiles. So like you said, they move. So like I mentioned earlier, they move down. Just when they're down, just kind of gently give it a little tug to take it off. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but on all the effect pieces, they should be like a little letter on them to let you know which side this is. So this is for the right. Pick up that. And yeah, that fit on there. There's this, and then put this on there. It'll be really small clips, just be careful not to break them. And that's like the Iron Man suit fully decked out, ready for war. Which I guess, well, no, you still need the little missiles. Might as well put those on. And there you go. Now, he's ready for war. He's ready to take on the Leviathans, you know, whatever he's going to do. The flaps still move even with that gray piece back there, so that's pretty sick. So yeah, I'll just pose this figure while I talk about the pros and cons of it. So the quality of this figure is absolutely like amazing. He is honestly, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he is a mini Hot Toys. The paint apps are sparkly, they're sharp, the like actual heft of the figure is there. There's die cast, the accessories are all pretty nicely sculpted. Even the articulation is pretty good for what like you would expect, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't expect this Iron Man to move as much as he does, but I'm glad it didn't meet my expectations of it. So honestly, I could recommend this figure, especially at the like $100 price point that he's at. That's pretty much like the price of like the average Mafex, but with this one you're getting like so much more out of it. Now personally, the Mark 7 is my favorite suit, so I am a little bit biased there, but even then this still is a pretty good Iron Man figure to have as your definitive copy. I just dropped him. Like I was saying, this pretty much could be your definitive Iron Man, even if you're not that big into the MCU. It's big and bulky. It looks amazing. It looks great. Not much more I can say to it that I haven't already said. So I'll move on to size comparisons. Here he is compared to the Threezero Iron Patriot. And you can see they're pretty much the same height. They're not the same mold because obviously these are completely different pieces of armor. I like the scale. I like how they add up to each other. They would make a nice display even if like this technically never happened. And here he is compared to just a Marvel Legends Iron Man. You can obviously see the difference, but I'm not going to diss this Iron Man because I mean this is like a $20 figure compared to a $100 figure. Here he is compared to a CT Toys, just to get a general sense of scale as well. Now if you want to put this Iron Man in like a CT display, or not CT, I don't know why I said that, in a Mafex display, you'll probably be a little disappointed because he's tall. I know this is Wolverine, so let me get another figure. Here is the Mafex Mark 50. You can see he just outscales him. Like, oh, this Iron Man looks like a baby. This is like Spider-Man in the Iron Man body, or in the Iron Man suit. You might be a bit disappointed if you're going to put this figure in your Mafex display, but I still think it's pretty cool just to have him stand alone. So yeah, that's size comparisons. This figure is great. I do recommend it, especially if you can get him for a good price point. Now, while 100 may be, like, in my eyes, that's a pretty good price, maybe it's not for you, so just keep your eye out. So just keep an eye out, make sure you're getting a good deal, and yeah, this figure gets a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe out there. Peace out.